What is going on, everyone? Jay Bryan here. Welcome to the Meaning of Introvert podcast. And we actually have a very, very special guest here. I'm going to let him introduce himself in a second. Here y'all know we like to interview introverts that are at the top of or headed to the top of their industry and kind of see the secrets of how to navigate things being an introverted person, but being in, fields that are sometimes they sometimes require us to be out there. For example, a music artist. So we have an actual music artist here today who identifies as an introvert. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. First of all, go ahead and introduce yourself for us, Mr. Special Guest. And then I would say something.
Yeah, man. My name is Jared Washington, but my stage name is 11Eleven. And yeah.
Anything special you want to tell the people as far as how we know each other?
This is my brother right here, man. My brother.
Yeah. Yep.
It's my blood, bro.
Yep. So 1111 is my brother, y'all. So welcome. I appreciate you, bro, doing this. So let's get started. So first things first, man, I want you to tell us your story, man, how it came to be that you found yourself to be an artist, a music artist. What made you decide to do it and stuff like that?
Well, I've always been a closed out person. I mean, I've always been like to myself. And initially, I remember just back in, I want to say it was like 2013. I'm bad with like years and dates, but it's like 2013, 2020. I remember when you dropped a mixtape, it was called Induction. And I heard that for the first time. And that really inspired me. That made me like just perk up just to like, because I had never seen somebody close to me do something like that. So when I saw that, it kind of inspired me. It did inspire me. And I was going through a lot at that time. And when I heard that, it kind of gave me a outlet. I got inspired and I just started writing, you know what I'm saying? And it gave me an outlet to kind of write my way out of my situation I was going through at that time.
Awesome. So it kind of helped you get that out. It was kind of cathartic in a sense.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the most therapeutic things ever. Because at that time, I remember just I was in a townhouse, and at that time, all I had in that townhouse was all my furniture was gone, everything was gone. But I remember specifically, I had a desk in a corner, and I had a computer set up, and I just had a pen and a pad, and I just used to sit there. I come home every day from work, and I just sit down and write, man. And I felt good about it.
That is awesome. Seriously, that kind of shows that commitment even early on, So I ask this every interview, and I'm going to ask it of you. So this is the Meaning of Introvert podcast. So when did you discover that you were an introvert?
I would have to say just it was really just a discovery I discovered along the way. Just dealing with people like in different interaction situations where I would feel out of place, or I feel like, why am I not able to enjoy some of the same things? I might go to a party, I might go somewhere, and a lot of people talking to me, and I just be closed off kind of to myself. And I always felt like I was being rude, or I felt like different. But eventually I came to a point where I had to figure out like why am I like this? And I felt like, to put a pin on it, I felt like it was introvert. That was exactly what it was. I was an introvert.
Got you. So as you were going to those parties and stuff and having those interactions over time, you kind of found a way to kind of sum that up. And it was when you found out about the word introvert. Okay, cool. So tell me, as an introvert music artist, 1111. So as an introvert that is a music artist, what's one thing you wish you had known when you first started as a music artist?
I wish I had known that I could be free and do whatever I want when it comes to music, because a lot of times I find myself just holding back or saying, well, I can't try that, I can't try this. But, through a lot of support, being an introvert, sometimes it's hard to get past that initial phase of like, oh man, like I don't feel like I can, I'm going too far outside the box. But
Mm-hmm.
luckily I got a lot of encouragement, a lot of people around me that tell me, it's okay, man. You can try that, you can try this. And through that, I kind of found out that I'm able to do more than I actually thought I was capable of.
Awesome. Awesome. So you just wish you knew you could do what you wanted. Essentially, you have that freedom, that kind of creative freedom. Am
100%.
I okay? Okay. So that's some great insight. So and so my next that kind of leads me to my next question. What what's your biggest kind of failure, if you will? And we all know, with this podcast, we all know, the listeners, myself, we all know that failure isn't a person, it's just an event. So it comes and goes. So with that in mind, what is your biggest failure that you've had up until this point? And what did you learn from it?
I say my biggest failure was my probably my second divorce that I went through, because at that time, leading up to that, I felt like I had it figured out. I felt like I had solved the puzzle essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought everything was going exactly the way I wanted it to. But to come back, to bring it full circle, and everything happened exactly like my first marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and being the age I am, I felt like it was a massive failure, just being 27. And I carry that today. I carry that today.
And as far as being a music artist, and this and what it, so what was your biggest learning point from that second divorce?
Well,
What were
just
you able
that
to take away from it to move forward?
just that I don't have to feel guilty and feel shameful, because it took, it took a lot of inner work, a lot of lessons, and I did a lot of meditations, and I still do a lot of stuff like that. It's a lot of whatever you want to call woo woo stuff like that. Like I do.
Woo woo. The woo
I
woo,
do.
yep. I used to call it
I
the rah rah stuff.
Yeah, and it's like I sometimes I find myself being like, why am I doing this? But then I'm like, man, I gotta just keep doing things that I feel like, help me as an introvert. And
Mhm.
yeah, I did those things, and that's the biggest lesson I took. I just learned that it's okay to go outside the box and do all the woo stuff, because being 27 and an introvert, at first I was scared to try different things, but
Mhm.
when I went through that event, that failure, that's what made me be like, okay, all right, man, you got to pick it up. And how do I pick it up? And that's when I started trying different things.
Okay. Okay.
And just real quick, just to get specific, like it might be something like there's this guy on YouTube named Elliot Host. He's got like
I know Elliot
bioenergetics.
Host. Yeah, I've heard of
he's
him.
got like he's got like bioenergetics, and I would do like meditations that are kind of weird. I might turn the lights out and just like dark meditation, and just th-
That sounds like
different
a
things.
nice meditation.
Yeah,
In the
I,
dark, peaceful.
and absolutely, and I still do it to this day. You know.
I love it. I love it. I love that you were able to learn from that, from your what you say is your biggest failure. So, what advice would you give someone that's wanting to pursue a career as a music artist who is an introvert? Like, what's some advice? What's one piece of advice you would give them, a fellow introvert that is wanting to pursue a career and be like you, a music artist?
I would say find a good support system, because if you don't have people around you that are encouraging you, if you don't have people to talk to that are going to lift you up, because for me, I know for a fact, I wouldn't be able to make some of the things I make without my support system. It's just a fact. I mean, I've had countless tips, people tell me things, and that's probably the biggest thing. And also, I would say be free. Don't be afraid. Being an introvert, I know that, for me, I'm over analytical. I analyze a lot of stuff, and I'm real critical of myself when I'm trying to break outside of my box. But when I get on the mic, just as from a musical perspective, when I get on the mic, I just try to break out the best I can. I just try, even if it might be like the worst session ever, but I feel good just knowing that I went to that space that I never knew I could go to.
Awesome. That's good. That's two very good tips. Support system and being free. Just, be you, and more specifically, kind of to piggyback off that, do what feels and what you know to be right for you in that
Yes.
space. And that's what being free is about. That's awesome. That's awesome. So next thing, what's if you had to recommend one resource to people, one, I know you talked about a support system. If you had to recommend one resource to someone who's an introvert wanting to be a music artist, to be in a field like you're in, or in a business like you're in, what's one resource you'd recommend that they make sure and tap into?
Well, it's gonna be kind of obvious, but I say YouTube. And the reason I
That's a
say
great
YouTube,
answer. I think it's a great answer. I'm sure a lot of listeners will too.
and I don't want to be too cliche, but YouTube, because no matter what type of artist you are, no matter what you do, you can try different things. One day I might try to rap on this a trap type beat, and then sometimes I might try to rap on a dance hall type beat.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I don't have that. I'm not able to speak patois or anything like that, but I just feel like it's cool to expand yourself. It's cool to have those tools where you can go to different type beats, you can go to different lanes, you could try different things. And being an introvert, it's really cool to see different sides of yourself when you do try those things, and it comes out actually okay. You'll be surprised how much you got.
Absolutely. 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 Awesome. So here's a kind of a follow-up question to that. So you're a music artist, you're an introvert. You talked about some of the things you've overcome just to get to this point to where you do starting to feel comfortable in yourself as a music artist. And you mentioned being an introvert, that's a little tougher sometimes. So I want to ask you, I'm sure that, like you mentioned earlier with your support system, that you've had some help along the way. I'm sure you have, well, as far as people. So my next question is, who are the three people that have been most influential to you?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. Justin, Josh, and my mom, Sharon Mahaffey.
Okay. All
My
right.
brother
You saying
Joshua, my brother Joshua Washington, and my brother Joshua watched my mom, Sharon Mahaffey, and my brother Justin Washington, who's interviewing me.
right. That's my real name, y'all. My government. So, all right, cool. Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that, I've been helpful. Also glad to hear that Josh has been helpful. I actually talked to Josh before the podcast started recording, y'all. And then our mom, Jared mentioned her. So that's awesome. So before we're getting ready to wrap up, man, with a few more questions, and then I know you mentioned a surprise. You wanted to let the listeners hear something. Um, if you were in my shoes, if you were interviewing, if we were switched, you were interviewing me, and I was an introvert that was in the music industry, what's one thing that you would ask that I have not asked?
um,
Anything else if there is anything else that you would ask, what would you want to know?
what does it feel like to? What does it feel like to when you're? What does it feel like to communicate with people sometimes? Being an introvert, like how does it feel to you? Like how do you process through those thoughts and emotions?
What does it feel like to communicate to people when you're an introvert?
Yes, yes.
No, I'm asking you. What does it feel
Oh,
like?
uh, it's a struggle. If I'm being honest with y'all, it's a struggle. It's hard. And for me, I just I pace myself. You know what I'm saying? I pace myself, and I always remember it's not about me. It is about me, but it's about everybody else. And a lot of times, a rule that I like to follow is if you whenever you just feel like you're anxious or you feel like you don't know what to say or whatever, just think about the other person, focus out, whenever in doubt, focus out, just push your energy out and look around you. And then usually you can solve it by just paying attention to something other than yourself. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's what helps me out.
Did you say when in doubt, look about?
No, when in doubt, look out.
Look out. Okay. I like that. When in doubt, look out. Just for the record, you're doing an amazing job just on this interview. Your pace is great. You're communicating extremely well. So it looks like you're practicing what you're preaching on that. So very good. Very good. So next question, man. And I know we're getting ready to wrap up. So close to the last question. I think this is the second to the last question. So where can people find you? Where can they find more about 1111? Where can they connect with you, or where can they reach out to their email or anything like that?
You can find me at jaredw93@gmail.com, jaredw93@gmail.com. That's my email. And also, you can call my phone if you need me. I mean, call me. I mean, I don't mind, because that's just the type of person I am. I'm just open and honest. But my number is 601-203-9776. And yeah, you could just hit me up sometime.
All right. All right, man. And then the last question I have for you is, what does being an introvert mean to you?
Being an introvert means basically being somebody who you don't speak as much as everybody else sometimes. It means being misunderstood at times, and just understanding that when you go into interactions, whenever you're doing anything, whenever you might be going to the gym, simple things that other people might see as simple. As an introvert, it might take energy out of you to do those things. And to me, it means just being that type of person, but also understanding that during those times, it's okay to feel like that, and allowing yourself to process through those situations in a calm and peaceful way. Just being a calm and peaceful person in the face of not being. You might not be all upbeat and excited. Everybody around you might be like that, but it's okay. It's okay to be like that. That's part of being an introvert. And don't ever hold your head because of that, because we all feel that sometimes.
Yeah, we definitely do. I call it the introvert shutdown. You out and about, and then you just all of a sudden, the energy just gone. You're like, oh, I'm getting out of here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I think it's important just to piggyback on what you're saying, to set a boundary around that. For us introverts, it's like I have a boundary where I don't stay anywhere past an hour if I can help it. Just because I know after that hour mark, my energy starts getting like kind of sapped, and
yes,
introvert shutdown comes. And also being driving my own car to places, that's helpful as well, because I can leave whenever I get ready to leave after my hour. So yeah, that's awesome, man. Great answers, great content. So you mentioned before we got on here that you had something you wanted to debut on here, man. So y'all are gonna get to hear it here first. All right. And y'all don't know, we've talked off before the podcast and everything. We've talked for weeks, months now, right? And
absolutely
trying to get to this point where we were starting to, launch and let people hear his music publicly. And we're here now. So man, 11, go ahead and share your screen and let's hear it, man. Let's hear it. All right. Anything before you start this, because I'm watching your screen, before you start it, what's the name of this and anything you want to say about it before we start?
My name is 1111. This song is called No Sight, and it's just basically about me and how I don't always see everything the same way everybody sees it, but I feel like I have a perspective too, and it's called No Sight.
All right.
I go by the name of 11. I just want y'all to realize, man, it's about alignment. Your actions and your thoughts lining up exact same time, man. We on some alignment shit. Pay attention, man.
Walk by faith, not by sight. My thoughts travel even better at 12 at night. No veil in sight, this is me being exposed. Talking about fuck ups, dust ups, and a lot more. At one point I thought I was ready for it. Then I found out you ain't smart cause you 40. Then I found out who really wasn't for me. I'm the star of this war cause I forced it. I need my portions, fuck it, I need the whole cake. I stepped over the line and left them at the gate. A prerequisite for being great, staying late, working like I never ate. I ain't talking dinner plate. Find your place, be yourself in this world of fakes. Keep the same gang, don't claim what you ain't. Leave the fame alone and make sure it's about the cake. Came from the bottom, now I'm feeling close to great. And don't forget to fight back at the storytellers. Same ones say they was there for Breonna Taylor. Same ones say they be there when you really stressed. Fake smiles on their face when you relay a message. Walk by faith, not by sight. Sometimes you gotta be blind to change your life. Take a risk, 100%. Action over napping, anything else counterfeit. Niggas capping on my bro, gon' keep it real. Be like the yin and yang symbol in that shit seal. For real, been in the field since we were little kids. Took the whip from the master and threw it back at him. Smart niggas, what they call us, I prefer wise. Fuck all their visions, better have a third eye. Like, can you see the clouds in the rear dark skies? Or you wanna chase cloud and live a disguise? Meet the pigeons, get them out the prison. So be a fucking bird and go flock with them. Save the children, they need the wisdom. As long as 11 breathe, then they better listen. This ain't fake Christian, this everyday Christmas. The day I was born, Jesus said you got a mission. This is not this, just some real isms. Doing what they do, that's what fucking real is.
Wake up, repeat, go to sleep. On the same things every motherfucking week. Wake up, repeat, go to sleep. On the same things every motherfucking week. Wake up, repeat, go to sleep. On the same things every motherfucking week. Wake up, repeat, go to sleep. On the same things.
11.
There was no sight.
Man, that was amazing. We appreciate y'all, man. Again, this is Jay Bryan. Y'all, this is the Meaning of Introvert podcast. And remember, what's inside needs to come out. Y'all have a great one. Peace.